Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Shaikh Parvez Aslam, Assistant Professor and Head Department of English, Lokseva Education Society's Arts and Science College, Garkheda Parisar, Aurangabad. Today we are going to have an analysis of a poem by Robert Burns. The title of the poem is My Love is Like a Red Rose. This is a kind of another poem that we are going to analyze as a part of a BA first year compulsory English curriculum of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Let us analyze this poem. My Love is Like a Red Rose is a poem composed by Scotland's national poet Robert Burns. It was first published in 1794 in a collection of traditional Scottish songs set to music. Burns' poem was inspired both by simple Scots songs he had heard in the country and by published ballads from the period. The poem was the form of a ballad and is meant to be sung aloud. It describes the speaker's deep love for, for his or her beloved and promises that his love will last longer than human life and even the planet itself remaining fresh and constant forever. With lyrics written by Robert Burns in 1794, My Love is Like a Red Rose, or simply just a Red Rose, is one of the most popular Scottish songs. Lyrics to both verses are included along with a suggested piano part. Although if you refer, you can play the chords on the guitar or on any other instrument that you like. From the poem, A Red Rose is written in four line stanzas or quatrains consisting of alternating tetrameter and trimeter lines. This means that the first and third lines of each stanza have four stress levels or bits, while the second and fourth lines have three stress levels. Quatrains written in this manner are called ballad stanzas. The ballad is an old form of verse adopted for singing or recitation, originating in the days when most poetry existed in spoken rather than written form. The typical subject matter of most ballads reflects folk themes important to common people love, courage, the mysteries, and the supernatural. Though the ballad is generally rich in musical qualities such as rhythm and repetition, it often portrays both ideas and feelings in overwrought but simplistic terms. The dominant meter of the ballad stanza is iambic, which means the poem's lines are constructed in two syllable segments called iambs, in which the first syllable is unstressed and the second is stressed. Let's recite the original poem. Oh, love is like a, oh, my love is like a red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till the seas gang dry, till the seas dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands life shall run, and fare thee will, my love, and fare thee will a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. The speaker describes his or her love, meaning either that the person loves or the speaker's feeling of love for that person as being a beautiful, vivid, and fresh as a flower that just recently bloomed. The love, the love is as sweet as a beautiful song played by a skilled musician. The beloved is so beautiful that the speaker loves her with a deep and strong passion. We find here the passion, the feelings of the speaker for her beloved, which is very strong. So strong, in fact, that the speaker's love will last until the oceans have become dry. Here we find that this line actually expresses hyperbole. It is a kind of an overstatement, a literary device that is used here to express the feeling is hyperbole. Even after the seas have evaporated and the earth has decayed, the speaker will still love the beloved. This love will endure until their own lives have ended and even until all human life has ended. The speaker concludes by saying goodbye to the beloved, who is the speaker's reminds her the only person the speaker loves. The speaker wishes her well during their temporary separation. The speaker reaffirms his or her faithful love by promising to return even if the journey covers a very long distance. Here we find that the journey is the journey of life that covers a long distance and takes very long time. Different themes are being suggested, or we can analyze this poem. The first one we have here in this poem is that is love and change. A red, red rose begins by describing the speaker's love for a beloved with the image that are beautiful but not necessarily long lasting. The speaker then affirms, however, that his or her love will outlast human life itself. Through the speaker's paradoxical but passionate claims, the poem argues that true love is both constantly renewing and completely unchangeable. The speaker begins by describing love in terms that are beautiful but that don't immediately suggest permanence. The first line compare the speaker's love to a red, red rose. Love could refer to the beloved person, the speaker's love. It could also refer to the speaker's feelings or this person. Saying the beloved is like a rose newly sprung in June emphasizes her beauty and youth. Meanwhile, saying that the speaker's love for her is like a new rose implies that this is a new relationship with all freshness and excitement for a developing romance. Of course, a rose can only be newly sprung for a short time. June ends after 30 days and flowers fade quickly. If the speaker's love is just like a new rose, maybe it would last for long. The speaker then says this love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune, but again instruments can go out of tune just as flowers can fade. The newness of the excitement of the speaker's love initially make it somewhat unstable. Then the however, the speaker goes on to emphasize how long this love will last. The speaker is emphasizing, is stressing, is thinking about the duration of this love, whether it will last or not. The speaker uses three images to measure how long these feelings of love will last. The sea is going dry, the rocks melting, and the sands of life running out. These events could only occur After sometimes, if ever it seems now that the speaker love far from lasting only as long as a flower will actually endure longer than human life. Although these conflicting descriptions of the speaker love sound like a paradox. In the final stanza, the speaker bids farewell to the beloved as if the speaker is planning to leave on a journey. The beloved doesn't need to worry, though, because the speaker promises to return even if the journey is 10,000 miles long. The promises implies that just as long stretches of time could not exhaust the speaker's love for the beloved, a long stretch of distance cannot keep the speaker from her, and the length of this journey now seems short, just a while compared to the near infinite time the speaker's love will last. It seems that love, like the speaker's, is powerful enough to make earthly obstacles feel insignificant. That is exciting enough to adopt to change circumstances. The moment of farewell is the final stanza, highlights that the speaker's core argument of love that lasts forever is also love that allows for change over time. Beauty, youth, and aging is also a theme of the poem. The poet suggests here that the speaker's love is generated by beloved, youth, and beauty, qualities that fade with time. The speaker then affirms, however, that these temporary qualities actually will rise to feeling and persist eternally through aging and even though death. The poem seems to argue that the beauty and youth are so powerful that they can inspire feelings that last long after these qualities themselves are fade or gone. The speaker begins with an image of the beloved that emphasizes her youth and beauty, suggesting a love that is enthusiastic but likely to fade with time. The speaker tells the reader that this love, like a red rose, here we find that when he uses like, when there is a comparison, there is a direct comparison. Here we find that the beloved is compared to the rose, and we find that the literary device that is used here is simile. Roses are most beautiful, newly sprung, but this is a beauty that by definition cannot last. It will not last forever. Newness ends quickly and all flowers eventually fade. They cannot be red forever. If my love refers to the beloved, then comparing her to a rose acknowledges that she is beautiful now, but that her beauty will fade over time. Or if my love refers to the speaker's feeling for her, then it seems that the speaker's feeling may also fade over time. The poem continues, however, the speaker suggests that the impermanent qualities of youth and beauty give rise to a love that is permanent. The speaker's love will remain constant even though aging, decay, and death is suggested here. In the second stanza, the speaker affirms the beloved's beauty. So fair art thou, and the speaker's strong love for her. So deep in love am I. The parallel phrases that starts with so suggests a casual connection between the two ideas. It is because she is so beautiful as a rose. That is, the speaker's feeling for her are so strong. They are so strong, in fact, that they will last longer than any rose. Somewhat counterintuitively, the poem claims that the speaker's love will actually outlast the rose like beauty that initially inspired it. To indicate how long he or she will love the beloved, the speaker uses three images: the sea going dry, the rocks getting melt, and the sun, the sands of life running out. This represents great lengths of time. It would take an eternity for these events to happen, and crucially, also describes a process of decay. They show the natural world losing its vitality and form in much the same way as individual flower would. Through these images, the speaker is indirectly confronting the reality of aging and death, not just in the natural world but also in the lives of the couple. The speaker implies that he or she will continue to love the beloved even as she ages and her beauty decays. When the speaker promises to run after a long journey, knowing that the beloved will have aged in that time, the speaker reaffirms that his or her feelings will remain the same even though the beloved may grow less beautiful. The speaker concludes by bidding farewell to the beloved and promising to return to her even if the journey is 10,000 miles long. The beloved will likely be older, less youthful, and perhaps less beautiful by the time the speaker returns. Nevertheless, the speaker does promise to return, indicating that although the love may change, the speaker's feelings will remain constant. Figure of speech is used here in the poem, that is the literary devices. Symbolism means to use symbols to signify ideas and qualities, giving them symbolic meanings and different form of literary meanings. Robert has used rose as a symbol of love. We know alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line, such as the sounds of I and R are repeated here. Oh, my love is like a red rose. Imagery. Imagery is distinct representation of something that can be experienced or understood through five senses. Robert has used visual imagery in the poem, such as "Oh, my love is like a red rose, and rocks melt the sun while the sands of life shall run." Hyperbole is a device used to exaggerate a statement, that is to say something or to give some overstatement. The poet has used hyperbole in the last line of the second stanza: till the seas gang dry. He says that his love will flow even the seas dry up. The second is used in the third stanza: and the rocks melt with the sun. Conclusion. The poem My Love is Like a Red Rose by Robert Burns is a beautiful poem. It shows the readers about how much he loves his young lady. A man once fell in love deeply will always love his lady no matter what happens. Once he fell in love, he will give the whole world for his lady. Just like in his poem, Burns is using simile to compare how much his love for her by compares with the beautiful things in the world. Then he used hyperboles to emphasize how much the love he has for his beloved. The point is he is trying to show the readers how strong his love through his poem, which is a beautiful song that has been inspired by the folk songs of Scotland. Thank you very much.